Last night, watching the news, seeing the poor woman called Edna from Grantley Court begging for food in England, not only in England, you know, a country that's supposed to be civilised, but in a place where she should have been safe, where she should have been fed and looked after. It never ceases to sadden me, not shock me, but to make me sad that this can continue for year after year. A priceless generation that we owe so much to are suffering and dying horrendous deaths in care homes across this country. The family are asking why the CQC didn't publish their report for 8 months. In my view, that's nothing to what the CQC have done. If you look at Tales of the Uninspected, you'll see them go into homes, say people are not being given food and drink, and we'll be back next year to see if anything's different. If you're not being given food and drink, you haven't got a year. You don't survive for a year. But this, like, little bit of common sense seems to have escaped the CQC. To be honest, when they came out with their new mum test and all of these new promised, you know, approach, etc., etc., I knew I was going to watch and wait, and I thought I might have to wait a bit longer than a few weeks, because I know these promises. I've heard them so many times before, and I can't see how we can let a government go on allowing this thing to happen to people. The council are saying, oh, well, we didn't know that the CQC had this bad inspection report. Well, I'm sorry, but that's hogwash, because on a safeguarding board would be a member of the CQC as well as the local authority representatives. So the CQC sat there on a safeguarding board and discussed Merok House, but didn't think to say, oh, by the way, the same tactics of poor care are going on in this other home as well. And we published this terrible report. Oh, we haven't published it yet, but it exists. I can't see what they're saying is credible, to be honest. To say that they didn't, you know, the council are saying they didn't know CQC had a bad inspection report. I feel sorry so much for the families, because you look at these inspection reports and they go into these homes and they trust in this regulator. And this regulator has got blood on its hands. I can't describe it any other way. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, I'm writing up a report about a care home where years of its poor history was deleted deliberately on the CQC database, and people are suffering in there now. And the families wouldn't have put those people in there had they known about this home. This pattern is there in all of the Tales of the Uninspected reports on our website. You know, we've been trying to expose this year after year after year. Well, you know, at the end of the day, there's no accountability, and then you get this situation where everyone blames each other, and then you probably end up with an investigation and a report that says no individual or agency can be held to account, because that's what serious case reviews amount to. No blame. Don't blame anybody, because if you blame somebody, you might have to hold them to account. Well, I think we need to change that. I think we do need to hold people to account. And what went on in those homes would have been stopped if a whistleblower was able to speak out. And that is, you know, the bottom line. These people are not protected, and whistleblowers are not protected, and the result is that people are living in conditions that are appalling. As for the owners of the home, all of their assets should be seized, because they've obtained them illegally. If they were in, for example, the Republic of Ireland, that would be seen as gains from criminal activity, and that's how these care home providers should be treated here. Their assets should be stripped, their bank accounts should be frozen, and everything they have should be given to the survivors of their so-called care homes. And that's when we'll have accountability. Meanwhile, another Edna, and all the Ednas right now are suffering, and the CQC are aware of so many bad homes, and they'll say, oh, bye-bye, we'll be back next year, and if you're dead, tough. That's not regulate. We don't need a regulator like that. In fact, I'd say abolish CQC, protect whistleblowers instead, and you will get results. Thank you.